YouTube, ritual beasts are back, and so am I. Alright, I am Sean Matrai, and I'm going to be teaching you what ritual beasts do. If you don't know me, I play Duel Links. I'm Ritual Beast God in Duel Links. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about playing Ritual Beast in Master Duel. Is one of my favorite archetypes of all time. We're going to break this down in like 3 different videos. This video, I'm going to go over the basic combos today. And then after that, I'm going to show you guys some insane replays that I have. Now, all the little bits and mechanics about playing Ritual Beast, I'm going to explain that all here. I'm going to explain all what I'm doing, okay? So, that's what I'm going to do today. Alright, so pay attention here. We're going to start out with Rampangu, as you can see in our hand. This is a 1-card combo. So, again, I'm going to add this to my little notes over here. Alright. So here we go. We're going to normal summon Rampangu. Now, Rampangu is a little bit like Cannahawk, so if you don't know what he does, basically, I could send one Ritual Beast extra deck monster I control to the graveyard to send one from the deck to the graveyard with the same type. Now, if you wanted to send like a Winder or a Laura, you would send a Psychic type. So, Ulti Rivatari, Ulti, not Nochi Drago, excuse me. Ulti Rivatari or Ulti Kumin Falcos, they're both Psychic, or Gaia Paleo. If you wanted to send Ulti Paleo, you would send Ulti Paleo to send a Paleo, and then Cannahawk, which is Ulti Cannahawk to send Cannahawk. Nobody plays Ulti Pedalfin, that sends Pedalfin. Only if you're playing Duel Links, but that's irrelevant. So, now, if we're starting with Pangu alone, we're going to reveal. Now, some people like to do Gaia Paleo, which is completely fine. I like to do Ulti Rivatari most of the time, because sometimes you do bring up the Omni Negate in certain matchups, so we can go ahead and banish Ulti Rivatari, and in this case, we're going to send our Laura. Next, we are going to go ahead and summon out our Ulti Nuchi Drago. And then we're going to chain Laura's effect. So, again, if you don't know what Nuchi Drago is, it's basically like Phantom of the U-Bell, but it's reversed. We banish them instead. So, it's a free Miracle Fusion in the graveyard. Think of Vicious Astrolaud. It's like Astrolaud for like Monadium and stuff like that. So, we're going to go ahead and trigger our Laura, which is going to allow us to summon any Ritual Beast monster from the deck, which will be our Cannahawk. So, when Laura is banished, instantly special summons any Ritual Beast out of the deck. Now, again, as I wrote in the top right, all Ritual Beast monsters in the main deck can only be special summoned once per turn. So, keep that in mind. Don't try to summon the same monster twice, special summon it. You can normal summon them more than once, but you can only special summon them twice. Okay? So, again, very, very important here. I mean, you can only special summon them once. Why did I say twice? You can only special summon them once, so keep that in mind. Alright, so very, very important here, because a lot of the times you're going to try to loop these cards multiple times, and then you're going to go, oh crap, I can't summon it again. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, so we're going to use Cannahawk's effect, because again, you may say, Sean, you already used this effect. Well, it's a soft once per turn, meaning as many times as I could summon it, I could use its effect over and over again, and that's all of your Spiritual Beast monsters. So again, Ritual Beasts are broken down into Tamers and Spiritual Beasts. The Tamers are the monsters that bring out the Spiritual Beasts most of the time. And then the Spiritual Beasts are the monsters with all the cool effects in the deck that allow you to banish cards, send cards to the graveyard, you know, do different things. And then, at long last, there are the Spiritual Beast Tamers that are treated as both a Ritual Beast Tamer and a Spiritual Beast, because technically it's Ritual in the middle of Spiritual. So since Ritual's in the middle of that, yeah, you can bring out, they are treated as both. Okay, so now we're going to trigger Cannahawk's effect. And with Cannahawk's effect here, we are going to banish Winder. Very important. And then we are going to activate Ulti Nuchi Drago's second effect, which will allow us to tag out into one Ritual Beast. So here we are going to go ahead and tag out into the Tamer Laura. And then we can go ahead and Contact Fuse into our Ulti Cannahawk. Cannahawk effect, we're going to activate the effect to target our... Now, this is the Cannahawk loop. Okay, so let me not go too fast. This is the Cannahawk loop, and this is very important. So the way the Cannahawk loop works is we're going to target one monster we want to summon and one monster we don't. So this is very, very important. So this could be any card. You can even target like monster, a spell, or trap. This could be any Ritual Beast card. Now, because Cannahawk says them and not those, them does not specify targets. So, for example, if I would give you a basic English sentence, right? And I say, I want to go to the store with them. Well, them doesn't specify who you're going with. It could be any 2 people. Who's them? right? Could be your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your uncle, your third cousin once removed, doesn't matter. But since it doesn't specify and we don't know, you could technically only send one card to the graveyard and then search anyway. But you're saying, Sean, how are you sending one card to the graveyard? Two cards have to go to the graveyard, right? Wrong. Because what if I were to tell you that if one of those cards they originally target to go to the graveyard, we tag out and summon instead, then what happens? Well, you're about to find out. Okay, so first we're going to choose one card we want to summon and one monster we don't. So we can't summon Laura again because Laura's already been special summoned once. As I wrote above, all ritual beast monsters can only be special summoned once per turn. But Winda can, and so can Rampengu. So those two monsters we can summon, so we're going to do so. And you may say, Sean, why not send Cannahawk to the graveyard? Because you're going to find it's essential to put Laura in the graveyard, not only for follow-up, but she's essential to be in the graveyard because you need her for Protoss. She's a light. So we're going to go ahead and use Ulti Cannahawk's effect. We're going to target the Laura and the Winda because we choose not to want to summon the Laura, and we're going to summon the Winda. So we're going to go ahead and summon Winda and the Rampengu. And now only the Laura will go to the graveyard. So there you go. Sean, look, you cheated! No, we didn't cheat. We're using game mechanics to our advantage and game knowledge. So here you would just search Laura for follow-up. Again, Pengu by itself is not the strongest starter, but it can definitely get you places. Now again, I don't want you to pay attention to any of the Nemesis cards in your hand or the Elder. Do not pay attention to those. Okay, so next we just banish the Apaleo, and again, since Apaleo is the same type as Ulti Apaleo, hint, all the Ultis are the same types as the smallest ones. Smaller ones. Hint, hint. Then we do that, and then we can make Infernal Flame Banshee. Now at this point, at even the point I stated above, you can even choose to go into Ulti Rivatari if you wanted to, like make Kuman Falcos, then banish one from the grave to summon Laura into Paleo, make Ulti Kuman Falcos, but Ulti Rivatari, but then you're only ending on a banish one. It's not really that relevant. Good anyway. Only if you know the specific matchup, maybe doesn't look like Colossus or Protoss, then you can do that, but in this case, it's better we do this. Now, here, we have Flag and we have Corridor. Now, again, you might say, but Sean, you put this with Elder. We're going over the one card combo. Just want to get that out of the way before somebody in the comments roast me about that. So pretend we search Flag. This would search your Flag, but pretend we already searched it. So we search it because I'm showing off a one card combo. So we're going to summon the Flag. And then at this point, you have the option to either search Corridor or your Protoss. If you want to search Protoss, you summon Protoss, and then we call Fire or Dark, depending on whatever the matchup is. However, with one card by itself, maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you want to end on a little bit more. So at this point, you have the option to search Protoss, and at that point, we would just banish the Banshee on the field with the Laura and Grave and the Apaleo. So that would be Fire, Wind, and Light. That's why I say you have to have Laura in the graveyard. However, in this case, if we want to make Colossus, we could just do this. We could summon Corridor, alternatively. And then we can make an IP Masquerena, which will allow us for a stronger field. Pretend we search that off of our Flag. And then, he can make a Colossus. So all this off one card, we just have two disruptions here with a ton of follow-up in the graveyard. So this ends us on Colossus plus IP Masquerena. So this allows you to floodgate, or you can go into Protoss, alternatively, whatever you want to do. But yeah, Colossus is very strong. Obviously, saying your opponent cannot search cards, which is very powerful in this meta. So cards like Sangan Kaiman can't search, Sangan Summoning can't search, so Pydra can't search, Voiceless Voice, no Saphira, no Barrier, no, none of that. So you can't search up any of those. No pre-prep for rights. So very, very powerful. They hurt Voiceless Voice as well. Another thing you can use this against as well is Snake Eye Fire King. They can't Bonfire. They can't use Fire King Island. They can't use Poplar. No Snake Eye Ash to search. So a lot of cards being shut down. Ubel. They can't use Nightmare Throne to specifically search. Although Ubel kind of has a lot more variability to get around it. Yama won't search. Opening of the spirit gates and dark beckoning beast won't search. But Yubel, you gotta kind of be careful with, because there's ways that they can kind of dipsy do around it with the right hand. Although if they have a bad hand, it's gonna affect them a lot more, Colossus, because they're gonna want to search off Yama in a bad hand to get access to their Unchained part of the engine. But like, yeah, Yubel does have ways around Colossus more, but then you have other ways to deal with them, like Ulti Rivatari with a good hand and whatnot, and you're still gonna be able to make Colossus on a good hand. And then on top of Colossus, you also have an IP Masquerena, which can link summon into an SP Little Knight anytime you want to, or your board feels threatened. So that's the one card Pengu. That's basic. Now keep in mind, it may take me a few hands to find a Cannahawk. Alright, we'll go into a 2-card line here. This is Elder and Pengu together. Now we can do a bit more. So we can activate Pengu's effect. Here we could send Ulti Rivatari again to send Laura to the grave. Then we can contact Fuse. And we can activate the Ulti Cannahawk effect again, targeting the Elder and the monster we don't want to summon. Keep in mind, we do not want to summon Ulti Rivatari. This is not something we are trying to summon, okay? Because it's not properly batched. Well, we want to summon it, but just, you know what I mean. Later in the combo. So we're going to summon Elder and Pengu back on the field. Now, keep in mind, these two have already been summoned. So we can go ahead and just drop these two boys on the field. And then we have option 2, search. We can search normal Lar if we want here as well. That's another way we can go about this. There's a lot of ways we can go about this, to be honest with you. So we could get a little fancy and we could search like normal Lara here. Now keep in mind, we're not under Die Shifter, so these combos can get very, very vastly different under Die Shifter, but that's another video for another day. Like I said, we're going to extend that to another part, so you don't have to feel obligated to know that. Here we can even banish a Cannahawk to send the Cannahawk to graveyard. Now, there is a lot of ways to go about these combos, so somebody might do this differently. Again, totally up to you how you want to do it. You can do it a lot of different ways. This is just the way I'm showing it. Into our Ulticumen Falcos. And then we activate Ulticumen Falcos. Banish any Ritual Beast card to immediately normal summon a Ritual Beast. So here we can go ahead and banish. Now keep in mind, we have not used Lara's effect. All this nonsense, and we still haven't used Lara's effect in graveyard. Now, this could stay in the graveyard for all we care. We really don't care about this being in there. We're going to want to summon the Cannahawk, so we could just banish Pengu. That's even fine. And then we could use Lara's effect a little bit later. So Lara on summon. Keep in mind, this is not a once per turn. There are some weird lines that you can summon Lara twice per turn. To get her effect to Monster Reborn, Junk Synchro, the monster at the grave, is not a once per turn, which is absolutely crazy. So from here, we could summon Cannahawk, and then Cannahawk can banish a Ritual Beast out of the deck. We can banish Winda if we want to. And then now we have Winda and this in the banish pile. We have not summoned Lara, and we have not summoned the Winda. We have summoned the Cannahawk, so keep that in mind if we want to do another Ulti Cannahawk search here. And then we can go and make Ulti Nuchidrago by banishing Lara and Elder. We can wait on this if you want to as well. It probably pays for us to wait just till we get the search here. So we can target Winda and we can target the Ulti Hawk. That's fine. And then we can now, remember, like I said, I'm going to go over a quick refresher. Ulti Cannahawk, we are not summoning this. This is not properly summoned. We banished this out of the extra deck. And then the Winda we are summoning. So remember, one monster you want to summon and one monster you don't. Remember these words. Then we're going to summon Winda and the Lara. And then we send the Ulti Cannahawk to the graveyard and get a search. Now, in the Pengu combo, we are not searching Elder. Why aren't we searching Elder? Because we already summoned Elder already. We can only gain Elder's effect once per turn. So unlike Lara and unlike Gwen, you can only gain Elder's effect to additionally normal summon once per turn. So summoning Elder again is absolutely pointless. So keep that in mind. However, also, now this is just a 2-card combo, but if we have additional Ritual Beasts in the hand, You could also add Tame Alara and then use her effect to the end to also additionally normal summon if wanted to. You don't have to, but again, that's just an option for you. So here we can even pick up an early Steeds. We can even pick up Wen if we want to as well. This could actually even work for us. So we'll pick up a Wen. There are also lines to where, hey, we want to search an early Steeds. Yeah, we totally can do that. And we can get multiple Steeds if you run 2. In this list, we're only playing 1. But if you wanted to play 2 Steeds and search Steeds twice, it's totally okay to do that. Now we're going to summon Ulti Nuchi-Drago by banishing 2 from the graveyard. Now remember, like I said, a Spiritual Beast Tamer is both a Tamer and Ritual Beast. A Spiritual Beast. It's both a Tamer and a Spiritual Beast. And most of your fusions on them say 1 Spiritual Beast plus 1 Tamer. So that's your fusion requirements. Unless you're talking about Gaia Paleo, which is vastly different. That takes a Spiritual Beast Tamer, a Ritual Beast Tamer, and a Spiritual Beast plus an Ulti monster. So now we're going to summon our Nuchi-Drago and trigger the Tame Alara. Now we could summon a Ritual Beast out of the deck. We could summon a Paleo right on the deck. Okay. Now, at this point, we have options. Now, again, Wen is not the most usable right now. This can be good for follow-up because we've already used most of the names. And, well, actually, yeah. So it's going to be mostly usable for follow-up. But that, like I said, is completely fine. Yeah. Well, actually, we haven't summoned the Laura. There actually could be stuff we can actually do. Okay. So next, what we're going to do is we are going to make the Ulti Rivatari. Now, Ulti Rivatari, we can do some crazy things with. So I'm going to show you. Now, I'm going to keep 2 level 4s on the field. This is going to be essential for us being able to maximize our output. You can even add back, like I said, Tame Alara if you wanted to. And then if you have additional Ritual Beasts in your end, you can extend off those as well. But we're not doing that here. At this point, if we want to extend off Wen, we can. So we could even extend off Win. I mean, not Win. If we could extend off of, like I said, Wen. That's what not Win. That's a different monster. We can. Also, we could optionally opt to keep Laura banished. If we have another Ritual Beast like Ulticum and Falcos that we want to summon, we could even add back the Laura if we wanted to keep her banished to resummon back the Kumin Falcos. There's a lot of routes you can go, like I said. This is just one of them. There's a lot of routes you can go here. Okay, so we're going to add back Elder. And we can just keep this as follow-up, which is completely fine. Now we can use Wen's effect. And we still haven't summoned back the Tame Alara, so we can do that. And then we can even use the Paleo's effect if we want to banish Lara. And then at this point, we can make a Banshee. Then we can use Banshee's effect, detaching Winda, or whatever, to add the flag. Now remember, all this is done off 2 cards. We're not doing this with any more than 2 cards. Put this back in the deck, or the Tame Alara. Now we can use Nemesis Flag to search out either Protos to call fire, or Corridor. Whatever we want to do, it doesn't really make a difference. This time I'll go for Protos. I'll show you something you can do with Protos this time. So then we can even make Ulti Gaia here if we want to do some really kooky lines, but we don't have to. I would recommend doing it differently if we wanted to make Ulti Gaia. Next we can link it to the IP Masquerena. And then at this point, we don't really have a Pyro on the field. Yeah, well, I didn't want to do that. I got a little bit distracted. I didn't want to link off the Flame Banshee and that if I wanted to do Protos. If I wanted to do Protos, I didn't want to link off the Banshee, but because I still needed to have a Pyro on the field, so there was a little bit of differentiation in that. So if I wanted to use Protos to call that, I wanted to keep the Pyro on the field and use these two, or at least one of them. But yeah, so pretend we have a Pyro on the field here. Kind of messed that up slightly, but that's fine because I wasn't really focused in there. Rather talking. You can also, again, if you know you're up against something like Voiceless Voice, you can opt to call Light here and pop Laura and then just lock them out of doing really anything. So, like I said, it highly depends on the matchup. Protoss becomes more powerful that way. If we want to, alternatively, even after doing that, and we have 2 other monsters on the field, pretending that we still had that Pyro on the field to call, if we still had 2 other monsters on the field, we can make it SP. Again, it's a little bit kooky because I kind of goofed that up at the end, but yeah. So, again, we want to keep the Banshee on the field, and basically you would have Banshee, we would pop Banshee, be able to resummon the Banshee because we banish the Banshee with Protoss. Yeah, so then resummon it, pop for fire, and then end on an IP. You wouldn't have SP on the field at that point, but we'd have IP, Protoss, and the Rivatari, and then we could still banish with the Rivatari, so that would be still really, really good. Yeah. If we get Elder Pengu again, I'm just gonna do it all over again. What the heck is this? Just so that way I can show you guys. But with Colossus, we could do more of that. I said before. Okay. Here's Cannahawk. So we're going to start off with Cannahawk. This is a 1-card combo. This is your Cannahawk 1-card line. So we're going to activate Cannahawk's effect. And we're going to banish the Spiritual Beast Tamer Lara. Then Lara's effect is going to summon Lara out of the deck. Then we are going to make the ulti Cannahawk. Ulti Cannahawk effect. We're going to summon out the new Lara because we already summoned out Ult Lara already. This is a complete 1-card combo. And then from here, we're going to add our Gwen. Now don't pay attention to Elder, that's in the hand. Now we're going to activate Cannahawk's effect. Banish the Pengu. And we are going to link into Ulticum Falcos. Here we can banish Cannahawk. Summon out the Wen. Wen effect to summon back the Pengu. Pengu effect. And then we could send Ulti Rivatari to send the Winda. And then make Nochi Drago. Back into the ulti Cannahawk. Targeting the Winda and the ulti Rivatari that we do not want to summon. And we're going to summon back Winda and Gwen. Now, very important, like I said, we got to keep the level 4 on the field for, like, Protoss plays. I mean, for, like, not necessarily, well, yes, but also for Colossus plays. Now, at this point, we would search Elder. Now, again, we're not paying attention to any of the 2 Elders that are in the hand. So we're going to search Elder, and then we're going to go and link into Ulti Rivatari. Adding back the Cannahawk. Then we're going to go Elder Hawk. Hawk effect. Normally you banish a Paleo, but because we have it in the hand, we just banish Battlefin instead. And then we will go into the ulti Hawk, targeting the Elder and the Pengu. Better to put the Pengu back in the grave. And then we will go Elder Petalfin. And then here we could search the steeds. And we will make the Banshee. Activate the Banshee, detaching the Winda to add the flag. Put Laura back in the deck. Click to add the Protoss or Colossus. Again, whatever you want to go into. Okay. So here, again, because we want to banish the Protoss, I'm going to show you this one more time. Now, again, if you want to make an IP play, again, to resummon this, we'd have to get Elder off the field. If you want to get another body on the field. Again, in this case, again, to like pop a fire, I mean. It's like if you want to pop a fire, this is what we do. Okay, so we have Steeds pop, Ravaged banish, although technically, again, this is why I don't necessarily like going into Protoss too often on the ladder, because it kind of restricts you a bit, but Protoss call fire, so now he can't summon any fires. Ulti Ravaged banish, and then we have an IP into SP as well. So still very, very good, regardless. And this is all off. All those 4 disruptions are off 1 card. So your other 4 cards could just be tech cards, and you have a very, very strong board regardless. So there you go. That's a Cannahawk 1 card combo. And again, if you want to go Colossus, that's also very good. You could also make Colossus and deny them of Sangan Summoning, Pydra, and Sangan Kaiman deck. Oh my lord. Alright, now show me Elder and Cannahawk. If I see Inheritance plus Cannahawk, that'll work too. Inheritance, Cannahawk, Inheritance, Elder, any of those work. Nope. I wish they gave you the option in these settings to customize your hands, but it does not. This is crazy because we're looking for a very specific hand. So it's like, will it show up? You're like halfway there. I'll give it a few more shots. Okay, there we go. Yeah, perfect. Elder, Cannahawk. Then we're gonna activate Cannahawk's effect to banish the Lara. We're not gonna trigger the Lara immediately. Then we're gonna make our ulti Cannahawk. Ulti Cannahawk effect, targeting the Lara and the Elder. And we're going to tag in the Elder Hawk. Now remember, the Lara we do not want to summon. We want to send that right to the graveyard. Where's she going? Temporary vacation, I should say. Search the when. And then we can use Cannahawk's effect to banish the Pengu. Link it to Kumin Falcos. Again, very much like the way we'd start up the normal line with Cannahawk. From here, we can banish the Lara, summon the Wen, and then we can chain block here. So we're going to chain Lara, chain link 1, Wen chain link 2, so that way Lara cannot be Ash Blossomed. Because Lara's first in the chain, you can't respond directly to a Wen. So, no Ash Blossom for him. From here, we can either opt to summon a Paleo or a Petalfin. And then we can use Rampangu effect. If we want to get another Lara in play, we can absolutely do that. Okay. Now at this point we have a ton of options we can do. We can make Ulti-Hawk again. And then at this point we can make Nochi Drago. Remember what I said, you want to keep a Laura in the graveyard. Keeping 2 Lauras in the grave is not a bad thing either. So don't even think for 1 second, oh, that's bad. But we're not going to do that because we still haven't summoned Laura yet. Keep that in mind. Well, new Laura we haven't. Now this gets a bit weird because we do have Wind in the hand, so we're kind of like alternating the combo a bit. So at this point, because we have Wind in hand, I would pick up Inheritance. Because you want to get Winda into rotation. Well, yeah, it's going to be a bit weird. I didn't realize like Winda was in the hand until later on. So then we should have probably summoned Nochi Drago a bit later, but that's fine. But we could use the Paleo to banish it. It's still the same. It's actually fine. So we'll just use the Paleo to banish Winda. Okay. Now at this point, we can make our Ulti Ruitari. Again, it's a little bit more simpler if we have that, because otherwise what we would do, instead of sending the second Laura, we'd send Winda from the deck, and that's what you would do. So instead of sending the second Laura and us getting Inheritance into play, then we would just do it that way. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So now we can make the Ulti Ruitari. Now we can add back the Cannahawk. And we'll normal summon Cannahawk here. Not Elder, because we already used Elder's effects. So keep that in mind. Do not do that. Otherwise, you're going to be very upset. Now from here, we can even banish... Oh, the Pedalfin's also in the hand. Oh, because we searched off Inheritance. I should have searched that off Inheritance. Whatever, it's fine. We would have had more fodder to play with had I not done that. But it's fine. Okay. Alright, I'm going to cheat a little bit here. We're going to use... Pretend Laura isn't in play. Pretend that we didn't search the Pedalfin. So instead we would have tagged out into the Pedalfin. So just keep that in mind. We would have tagged out into it. So it's a little bit of a cheat here. We would have tagged out into the Pedalfin. And I know a bunch of people in the comments go, this is a one-card combo. Yeah, we would have tagged out into the Pedalfin, so it's fine. So this went a little bit oddly, but we'll get there regardless. And this would just be another body on the field. So this would be like the other spiritual beast that you would have on the field here. So at this point, again, we could search the Protoss or Corridor. I'm going to go into a Colossus line this time. Now I'm going to show you something you can do. So pretend that's like an Elder. And we can make like a Colossus. Now if you had a really good hand and you had another extender, what you can do, like if you have another extender here, what optionally you are able to do is if we open up another extender, like an E-Teller or something, or some other extender, like a Lar, then we can use Ulti Cannahawk. I mean, not Ulti Cannahawk. We can use like an Elder and another body to make like an SP Little Knight. Given that we have a fire on, given before we obviously get rid of all of our fires, given that we'd have Banshee on the field, a fire on the field at the time, we go in SP first, then resummon the Banshee, and then make an IP Masquerena, and then we'd have access to make even Apollosa on our opponent's turn if we wanted to. We still can do that, but it's just a little bit more kooky to do it. But yeah, so this technically is a 1-card combo. I know you see like 4 cards in the end, 1 card in the end, but we have Winda. It kind of went a little bit messy because we drew the Winda, so it had to be extended out a little bit more because we drew the Winda. But technically, this is a 1-card combo that gets onto everything. And also because we actually used Laura to summon Battlefield out of the end because I added the wrong card by mistake. So, yeah. Oh, it's actually a 2-card combo, I should say. Not a 1-card combo. This is a 2-card combo. But like I said, got a little bit messy because we did see do it and discarded other things that we shouldn't have. But this is a 2-card combo because I clicked on wrong things or whatnot. But, yeah. Okay. So that's that in a nutshell. Okay. Okay. So now, on to, and again, we're going to stream more of this, so I'll teach you more of this on stream, so don't even worry about it if you missed it, the replays. But I don't want the video being 10 hours long. We're already 36 minutes long. All right. Alright, here we get through 3 hand traps. Watch. Alright, so he Veilers the Pengu. Now he Ashes here. Oh, he Ashed me. Oh no, but I can still tag out. And I can use Pengu's effect again. Watch what I end on here with Elder and Pengu. So now we send the Laura. Keep in mind, we still have not used Laura's effect. We got double hand trapped already. Now, here comes the team of Laura into the Cannahawk, into the Winda. Now we can tag out, summon back the Laura. And we hard open the flag, so that does help. Otherwise, we could still make flag plays anyway, because we could still get to Winda regardless. He drolls me. Oh my lord, 3 hand traps. Now, Colossus into Rivatari. Okay. How many disruptions? We have a Rivatari banished on our opponent's turn. Colossus cannot search any cards. So that Floodgate. A pop for 2 with Steeds. Pop 2 monsters on target. And an Ash Blossom. So that's about 4 disruptions there to his 3 cards. Keep in mind, if he opened up any kind of searches or anything like that, those are automatically turned off. If you go another deck that really gets hurt by a bit by Colossus is a bit Centauria, because Primaria doesn't get to search. That really does hurt them a bit, so they won't get to search. If they open up like Primaria, then they won't get to search, and that's going to slow them down a bit. They also, if they go into Auxilia, they won't get to search. Although, yeah, so just a few things that may hurt them a bit there. Okay, so let's get into some of the replays here. So there's that in a nutshell. There's that in a nutshell. Yeah. Alright, this is one where we die shifter. I haven't really gone into the die shifter lines yet. But that's going to be a different video. Meanwhile, I think for the rest of these replays, I'm actually going to put on some music and I'm going to just let you enjoy them. That way you don't have to hear me talk for 20 hours on end. So just enjoy these. Be here with me and just enjoy this. Okay, yeah. So one of those replays I made a major goof in. So yeah, one of those replays, like I said, I made a major goof in. That we did the Oppo play, but that's like me just like figuring out the combos to begin with. So yeah, still learning all the advanced things. There's a lot you can do with this deck. So there's a broad spectrum. So yeah, but hopefully this video helps you out majorly. If you want to see my live stream, I think we're going to be streaming more Ritual Beasts on Sunday. That's kind of the plan. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, this is your boy Sean Matrai signing out. Peace. Bye, YouTube.